Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back from one of the most amazing trips that I've ever been able to go on. Last week I went out to Yosemite National Park and was able to see the Firefalls. Now I've known about the Firefalls, I've seen pictures for several years, but I didn't know really anything about them, like when they occurred, when you go see them, how to go see them, and all of that, until a friend of mine was talking to me about it last October, and I found online how to do it. Anyway, I booked a stay in the park, hotel and plane ticket and rental car and all that, and got to go see it. And man, it was like one of the best things that I've ever been able to see. So I will say it wasn't the best conditions compared to some of the pictures that I've seen from other photographers and other people experiencing it in the past. I still got to see it, and for me that's probably one of the most important things. Now of course I went out there to take pictures. I still got some pictures which I'm going to show you here in a moment so you can see what I was able to get, and I can share a little bit of that experience with you. But before I get to that, I want to show you what I used to take pictures of those Firefalls. So this lens right here, you've probably seen it. It's massive. It's the Canon RF 100-300 f2.8. So I knew I wanted to get as close to the falls as possible. I wasn't exactly sure where I would be able to position myself, not knowing the exact layout of the falls compared to the trails, compared to the viewing areas and things like that. So I wanted to make sure I had a lens with reach. I also wanted a low f-stop so that I could get as much detail and as much light in as possible, because I also wasn't sure what the whole lighting situation was going to be with the sun setting. So I got this, and man, it's heavy. It's comes in at almost 6 pounds. I did not carry this around me all day in the park when I was hiking. I definitely went back to my room, repacked, and then went to the spot where I took these pictures. But it worked out really well. So the 100-300, excuse me, was probably the best amount of reach. But in addition to this massive lens, I also got the 2x extender just in case, which worked out pretty nice. Now it doubles the length of the lens that you're attaching it to, or the ones that it's compatible with anyway. Not only does it do that, there are some drawbacks. It does reduce the amount of light that you can take in. So when you're doubling the range, you're also doubling your f-stop. So instead of being f2.8, your minimum is going to be f5.6, but it is 5.6 throughout. And when I'm showing the pictures, I'll talk about or throw in on the image some of the stats so you can see I didn't have any issues with any of the other settings on there. Even though it was at 5.6, I was able to get really close from my position with this lens and the extender. So it worked out really nicely. Especially since the place that I rent from doesn't have longer lenses than this, at least in the the more professional lineup that Canon provides. The other lens that I brought with me, and I brought a few for various purposes, but I also brought the 70-200, which I've loved trading up for this one. I didn't use the 2x extender on this, even though it is compatible with it. I think I might have tested with it, but decided to keep it on the 100-300. So this one was nice because there was enough distance between the falls and where I was positioning myself to take pictures of it, that at 70 I was able to get a pretty nice wide view and then zoom in, especially since some of the spots still had some trees coming up in them, kind of somewhat on the sides of some of the pictures that I took. Not a problem, but for the pictures that I wanted at least some of those trees, especially some of the dead ones, because it's February, to not show up in those pictures. So I ended up putting this one on the tripod and was periodically taking pictures with it. And then you would think that I would have put this one on the tripod, and maybe I should, but I handheld this one and it worked out really well, even with the setting sun, the lower light conditions, and the 2x extender. The tripod that I brought with me, it didn't seem to be able to handle the weight of this, but like I said, it was fast enough that I was able to hand hold it, or put it down on my lap and hold it that way and shooting. That way I was able to get some nice shots. So one of the other lenses that I have that I've talked about in another video is the 100 to 500 RF lens. I have used this quite a bit in the little over the year that I've had it. I do like it, but this many lenses, I definitely did not need the 100 or 500 at all, especially since this one starts at 4.5 at 100 and then goes to 7.1 at 500. So 5.6 on the 100 to 300 going to 200 to 600 basically was way better than what I would have gotten with this, and this would have been extra weight, and I don't need to take more lenses covering the same amount of range that I would get with the other lenses that I brought. So like I said, I do like it. Would not have fit my needs. I wanted to make sure I got as best pictures as I could with this trip, and these lenses that the 70-200 and then the 100 to 300 with the 2x extender worked out perfectly with that. So anyway, I wanted to show you that, share that with you, and now I'm gonna show you some of the pictures so you can see a little bit of what my experience was, what I was able to capture. So enjoy. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed those pictures. Like I said, I had a great experience, and if you ever get a chance to go see the Firefalls yourself, I highly recommend it. It only happens in February, Yosemite National Park out in California, sunset. Look it up, and yeah, it'll be a great experience, especially if you like hiking, if you like the outdoors. You won't want to miss this opportunity. Hopefully weather conditions will be a little bit better. I did have clear skies mostly and was able to see it, as you saw in the pictures. This year I was hearing from some of the people I was talking to that there just hadn't been as much rain and snow, which would contribute obviously to the creation and the size of the waterfalls in the area. So while Horsetail Falls, which is the falls where this phenomenon occurs, is already a little bit smaller than most of the other waterfalls that are in the park, it was a little bit smaller than normal because, like I said, the weather conditions, the water, the rain or the snow melt, which, like I said, creates the waterfalls. So until next year, yeah, like I said, plan it, go see it, and let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next video.